Good afternoon, everybody. We are just waiting for all the devices to connect. You are so welcome. This is a hot topic today, and we just need to get everybody on board before we start off. That's it. So while we're waiting for more devices to connect, you are welcome to put in the chat box where you are from, what's your school's name. It would be interesting to know where we have representation all over the country. So yeah, let us know. Where do you come from? What's your school's name?
Hi, I'm Elsie de Beer. I'm from LD Daycare Centre in Newlands, Johannesburg.
Hello, Elsie. Anybody else? You're welcome to unmute your mic. That's in the Zoom, and then you can let us know where you're from. And then in the Facebook Live, you're welcome just to put in the comments where you are from. And then once you are done, just make sure to mute your mic again, please.
Hello, I'm Margaret from Little Feet Daycare in Tableview.
Hi, Margaret. Right. Still a lot of people coming in, so bear with us. We just need to get everybody on board before we can start off. Please make sure your mics are muted.
Hello, this is Lebisi from Aunt Helen's Tiny Tots.
Hi, good afternoon. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good day, this is Betty Klein, Precious Lighthouse Academy, Elsie's River, Cape Town.
You're very welcome. Right, so I think we will start off then. Please make sure all your mics are muted, please. And then we will start off. I see there's one or two mics that's still open. Right, there you go. So welcome. As I said, this is a very interesting and important topic, which we just felt that we had to get everybody on board and tell everybody about this and what the importance of a formal qualification in ECD then is. So I mentioned that thank you for putting your names in the chat box. It's nice to see everybody and to know where you come from. That really is great. Right, so today's topic is a formal qualification. Will that be a necessity going forward? Is that something that we will have to have? If not, will we still be able to teach? So as with any information that we get in this country, what we're saying today is I cannot guarantee in terms of this is a fact. But what we are saying is that we have been in numerous meetings with the Department of Basic Education, and what we have seen and the way they want to go forward is the following. All right, so I'm going to mention some meetings that we had, not necessarily going to mention names. So the first meeting that I was a participant in was just after April 2022 with a move. And as we've said numerous times that we are very glad about the move, and I think the Department of Basic Education is very organized or more organized, and that the move is really to us an advantage. Right. We were in a meeting on, I think it was about May, June 2022, where Minister Angie Motsekwa, sorry for the pronunciation, she said the following thing. She said since the takeover for the next 2 years, we will not make any major changes. So they basically just want to have a smooth takeover and a smooth transition. But she mentioned something that time that worried me a bit, in the sense that she said, for the next 2 years, we won't make major changes. All right, so that's the one thing, that meaning that within 2 years, major changes might come. And then the second thing she mentioned just before the meeting was concluded, she said, There is no way that a teacher in an ECD environment can teach without a formal qualification. That is not possible. So she mentioned that, so we knew that where the department wants to move to is to formalize the sector, which we welcome, because at the end of the day, if the sector is more formalized and if our teachers have qualifications or better qualifications or formal qualifications, that at the end of the day would be to the benefit of the children. All right. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing. But we do understand the hurdles for you to have a formal qualification, and not everybody has the highest grade or the entry requirement for necessarily for an NQF level 4 or 5, let alone a B.Ed or whatever the situation might be in that case. So we do understand the hurdles, because at the end of the day, we're on ground floor with you. We know exactly what your problems are, and that's why we exist, to try and solve your problems and to make the sector better. But the facts are, it looks like that is what they're going to want. So a few weeks back, we were at the Department of Basic Education again, the headquarters, and we spoke to a very, very high official in ECD. And I don't want to mention necessarily names, but we sat with that person on an individual basis, and the following was mentioned. Again, it was stressed that no teacher in an ECD environment can be a teacher without a formal qualification. So they're working towards that. The second thing that was said, that they do understand, or the facts are that they, the funds or the finances from Treasury is not there. So the one thing is that they have a limited funds to roll out towards getting teachers a formal qualification, which obviously is a problem because not everybody can afford to do the formal qualification. So that's the one issue that we saw. The other one that she said is the person said is that they would like, well, in my words, in layman's terms, is they would want to focus on rather getting a formal qualification for teachers. That being said, NQF level 4, NQF level 5, and even go as far as a formal qualification in lower levels in terms of skills, but having something on paper that's accredited, even though it's just skills. Because there's not necessarily any funds available from government if a person studies a B.Ed and so forth to salary that people. So there's not necessarily funds available. So for us as an organization, it seems like, and again, I'm not giving promises and I'm not giving guarantees. On the floor and with us having that meetings, it seems like the industry is moving to formalize, or that's what the department wants to see, a formalization of the industry, which we as an organization welcome. As I mentioned, we do understand the hurdles, and we need to see how we can jump over that hurdles and how we can get to a point where we can help as much as possible persons to study a formal qualification. That being said, I'm not saying that there is no place for a B.Ed, not at all. There's definitely a place for that as well. But we're now talking about a minimum requirement to put you out of risk in terms of your job. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. So without further ado, I would like to just introduce, and most of you know Maxi very well, but I would just like to introduce her to you formally, and then me and Maxi, we're going to have a bit of a chat with regarding what the formal qualification is all about. What's the difference between a CETA and QCTO? So that to inform you as our listener, and most of you as our members, some of you not, but we want to inform you so that you can make an informed decision in your way going forward. Right. So without further ado, then Maxi Theron, as some of you might know, she is our COO, and she has been with our company for over 23 years. She has been running the CETA training processes and accreditation for the past 20 years, and have extensive knowledge on these. She is also a qualified assessor. My side, if you don't know me, my name is Arno van der Merwe, and I am with SA Childcare, and proudly so. Just something short about myself is I see SA Childcare and what the work that we're doing as a calling rather than just a job. So it's a higher calling for me. And I always say to people, you know what, they're saying that the children are our future. It's not a cliche. It's a fact, and it's the truth. So I see our job as people in the ECD sector as a very, very important job, because without us, having to make sure that our children grow up the way they should grow up and getting to the milestones that they should be able to get to. Without us, we would have a problem in the future. The government might see it, people might see it, or they might not see it. We know what we know, and we called for this job. And that's why I actually want to thank all of you and say, you know what, you're doing a wonderful job. You're doing a great job. Keep on doing what you're doing, because your job is very, very important. Just as I feel the way I have been placed, that it's an important job and it's an important function to fulfill. So without further ado, then Maxi, can we chat a bit about the formal qualifications, and tell us a bit, if I just give us a bit of a background between the differences in qualifications available, if you don't mind, please. And then you can, I'm sure you can do your PowerPoint presentation then.
Yeah. Hi, thank you, Arno. Hello, everybody. Let me just quickly share my screen. Arno, I'm just going to ask you to tell me whether you do see my screen.
Yes, I do.
Just hold on. Okay, so let's look at the different qualifications that's available in the training sector currently, and what will the requirements typically be going forward. So a formal qualification, now this comes from the South African Qualifications Authority. It's a mouthful, and their definition of a formal qualification is the formal recognition of the achievement of the required number of range of credits and other requirements at specific levels of the NQF. Right, so that is their definition of a formal qualification. So formal qualification is recognition against something that's registered with the South African Qualifications Authority. Now, the ECD qualifications currently available, and remember, I'm speaking about the South African qualifications. There's a myriad of international qualifications that's also out there. The first you get is your ETDP CETA qualifications. Then you get a QCTO qualification. There's only one currently registered with QCTO. You get your N diplomas and you get your BEds, your degrees. So firstly, I want to look at a CETA qualification. Now let's start with what is ETDP CETA. Now ETDP CETA is a statutory body. It stands for Education, Training and Development Practices Sector Education and Training Authority. Goodness, that's a mouthful. Now, the qualifications they have available is the Further Education and Training Certificate, Early Childhood Development on NQF4, and then also the Higher Certificate, Early Childhood Development on NQF5. Now, what can I teach with these qualifications if I've successfully obtained them? With the NQF4, you can teach up to grade RR, and with the NQF5, you can teach up to grade R in a nursery school. I do know that, and it has been said by the department, that to teach grade R in a public school, you will have to have a BEd degree. That is what they say. Right, so who offers these qualifications? Now, that's providers accredited with ETDP CETA. Now, their methodology of training, it's a theory component, a 70% workplace learning, it's also called experiential learning component, and there's also a practical task that needs to be done in such a qualification. And how is this assessed? It's assessed through a portfolio of evidence. In other words, there's a lot of tasks and assignments that you do. You compile that into a file. So it's integrated. It's the theory, and then you're going to apply the theory into practice. And the portfolio is assessed. So there's no external exam like you guys did it in school in grade 12. Remember the Umalusi guys came, you wrote an external grade 12 examinations. This is not the case with the ETDP CETA qualification. So if we go on to the next one, the QCTO qualification. Now, I want to take you back. Do you remember when you wanted to be a hairdresser or a mechanic or an artisan? You had to write a trade test to qualify to do that occupation. Now, an early childhood development practitioner has been registered as an occupation. So the qualification, the QCTO, who are they? The Quality Council for Trades and Occupations. The qualification they currently have at QCTO, and it's already in existence, is the Occupational Certificate Early Childhood Development Practitioner on NQF Level 4. I know we have been involved in the process. They are now registering a skills program. In other words, a skills program is a part qualification. It's called Early Childhood Development Caregiver. and that is on NQF level 1. So they are busy registering that. Oopsie, where's my slideshow now? Sorry, there we go. So with this NQF4 qualification, you can teach up to grade RR. Now, who offers this? The TVET colleges. Now, a TVET college, and this is again a mouthful, it's a technical and vocational education and training. That's TVET, right? And also private registered providers. So it's not just anybody who can offer any qualification. The provider needs to be accredited with the certain institution, either the QCTO or the CETA or whatever the case may be. Now, the methodology of the QCTO qualification, there's knowledge modules, so there's theory, there's practical, and there's also workplace modules. So you also will need to perform some practical tasks in a workplace to enable you to finish this qualification successfully. Now, the assessment method, yes, you're still going to write internal exams at the training provider or the college. And then there's an external examination. It's called the ISA. It's exactly as you did in grade 12. So you're going to do everything at your school, the college, and then you are going to write an external examination at a registered exam center. So that's QCTO for you. Right, then your N qualifications. Now, the N qualification that's very popular in the ECD sector, which I've seen a lot that the guys have, is an N6 in Educare. So that's a diploma in Educare. Now, what that actually means, the N4, N5, and N6 is actually one thing. It's the building blocks towards the diploma in Educare, which is on an N6 level. Now, N6 is also, you can teach up to grade RR, not grade R. Also, TVET colleges and private higher education providers. They also do theory, practical, and workplace learning. I know the workplace learning, I think, is about 18 months that they do on this qualification. And then it's also formal exams plus your workplace experience. Okay, and the N stands for National Accredited Technical Education Diploma. Right. Then your degrees. Look, degrees are more academic, but they also have workplace experience that's incorporated in some of the degrees. So what degrees are out there? It's the BEd, Early Childhood Development, and your BEd foundational phase. You can teach up to grade R, and then also a foundational phase, which is grade 1, 2, and 3, if you have this degree. And it's offered by universities, and there's also theory and workplace learning, but it's also, once again, formal examinations. The next thing I just want to mention and to bring under your attention is that all CETA qualifications from June next year, 30 June 2024, is the last date of enrollment in these qualifications. CETA qualifications is moving to QCTO because the ECD practitioner is now an occupation. The qualification is going to lie with QCTO. That doesn't mean the qualification won't be valid anymore. Remember, if you achieved your qualification, and that date is only in 2027. So if you're already enrolled in a CETA program, don't stress, you still have enough time to achieve the qualification. We're just talking about new enrollments now. You can only do so until June next year. After that, from 1 July, if you want to enroll for the qualification, it's going to have to be either the QCTO or your higher education qualifications. And that means external exams. And I don't think one of us, ons sien nie meer kans vir externe examens nie. Okay, but yeah, that's your choice. It's up to you. If you want to get qualified from 1 July 24, it's going to be either QCTO or higher education. I don't know. That's my story in a nutshell. I don't know if there are any questions.
Look, yeah, look, it's a lot of information, and I would think that some of you might feel, oh my soul, what's this now, and how does it work, and so forth. Maxie, so just simplify it for us, please. I know that you've mentioned now that there's going to be a move from CETA to QCTO. Just again, simplify that, summarize that for us, please, so that we can just understand clearly the difference and what it entails.
Okay. So the NQF level 4 qualification, there is currently an existing one at QCTO, which is called the ECD practitioner.
Okay.
So NQF 4 is fine. If you want to enroll on 1 July, you can register for the QCTO qualification. Not a problem. Remember, CETA, how do they assess? CETA is a portfolio of evidence with a lot of assignments and workplace assignments, formative assessments, summative assessments, all into a file, and that's been assessed for competency. No sit-down examinations. QCTO, however, you do assignments also, but the difference there is you write an external integrated exam, like you did in grade 12, by an external body who's the CETA. The CETA oversees the QCTO exams. They are the assessment partner. And then they deem you then competent or not on that integrated exam at the end. NQF level 5, unfortunately, is not being replaced by QCTO. We had a meeting with ETDP CETA about a month ago, and we actually asked, what is the rationale? Why don't they develop an NQF level 5 qualification at QCTO? Yes, they will be developing I think it's an ECD manager to manage a center on NQF 5, but the grade R practitioner moves to higher education, which is your B.Ed at a university. So your chance is now to enroll for a CETA qualification if you don't feel like writing external examinations. But NQF 5, CETA now until 30 June next year, or university. That's where the qualifications are moving. So the whole landscape in South Africa with regards to training is moving. There are changes, but it's positive changes. It's nice changes because I feel after these qualifications, after you've qualified on that, we will have a stronger workforce who will teach our children better, and it will be beneficial to yourself and also to the children in your classrooms.
Maxi, thank you for that. You're welcome to unshare your presentation as well. So if I understand it correctly, there's a CETA qualification, NQF level 4 and 5, and there's a QCTO qualification, NQF level 4. The NQF level 4 and 5 from CETA, it's assessment, and then there's no external examination. And then with QCTO, there is a NQF level 4, also assessments, but there's an external examination that you need to go and write. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, thank you. So I think going forward, you as a prospective student or a person might want to say that, all right, what would be beneficial to me? Would I need an NQF level 5? Then currently you need to enroll at the latest next year, June, because then we're not allowed to enroll anybody anymore if you're interested in 5. What we're saying is that the QCTO will be possibly working on a NQF level 5, which we will also be part of, not necessarily part of Maxi, maybe you can explain what our role would be there if we engage, or the way we engage QCTO. But you can just let us know at a later stage, just within a few minutes. So your decision is, at this moment, as it is, there's no NQF level 5 after next year, June, July. You can't enroll. There's nothing available in our country. There is, however, NQF level 4 available at CETA and QCTO.
Yeah.
CETA currently, no external examination. So if you want to go that route, you need to either enroll ASAP, January, or latest June, because after June, you cannot enroll for a CETA qualification anymore. But we will also be able to provide the QCTO NQF level 4 for you from next year onwards. So we will be able to supply that to you. But at this stage, we're still registered with CETA as well, and we'll be able to do that then for you. Is that, do I understand correctly?
That's correct. Sorry, I just want to mention something because I see the questions here in the chats, and I think there's a bit of confusion out there. I just want to mention something. Siska asked, it's super frustrating. Our grade R teachers enrolled for NQF 5 and the expenses made, would it be sufficient? Siska, yes. Your grade R teachers doing the NQF level 5, it will be sufficient to teach grade R in an ECD center in a nursery school. Then our staff are busy with the NQF level 4, and I'm not sure if they'll be completed by 30 June 2024. Cindy, your guys doesn't have to be done with the qualification in June 2024. Remember, we are now only talking about new enrollments. New guys, if you haven't studied for anything else. New enrollment, the date is June 2024. The guys who are busy with the qualifications, you still have until 2027 to achieve the qualification.
All right, that makes sense. That
And
makes
the
sense.
qualifications, remember, guys, the validity of a qualification can't be taken away. So if you achieve the CETA qualification, regardless if it's NQF4 or NQF5, that will be valid on your name until you die. The whole issue is new registrations.
Okay.
So you won't be able, you have this NQF4 now. If someone comes to me next year, August, and say, oh, I want the CETA NQF4, then I'll just say, sorry, ma'am, it's no longer available. You need to go, you can't buy this hamburger anymore from me. You need to now go buy at QCTO because they've got the new hamburger. So that's basically what it's about. For how long will it be valid? I'm not sure who this person is. It just says iPhone. If you achieve the qualification, it will be valid until you go to heaven one day. It will always be on your name. A qualification doesn't become invalid. If you have it, you have it. If you achieved it, you achieved it. I
Wonderful.
hope that
That's
answers a bit of questions.
I mean, that answers a lot. I'm sure that helps everybody that's listening. Another question is, maybe a person I've been working at an ECD center for years, or maybe not even that much, maybe 5 years or 3 years, or maybe 20 years. But that person not necessarily have the minimum requirement in terms of, let's say, grade 11 or 12. Can such a person also enroll for, let's say, NQF level 4 then? Is that possible?
Okay. So the entry requirement for level 4, now remember, the entry requirement is not determined by a college or a training provider. The entry requirement is determined by the South African SAQA. SAQA, goodness gracious now. Qualifications Authority, stumbling over my words. All right, so the entry requirement for NQF4 is grade 11. In other words, you had to pass grade 11. But if you've been working in the ECD sector for more than 3 years, now, meaning in a classroom, not as a cleaner or a cook or whatever, and you are older than 23 years, and you have at least, and this changes from provider to provider, but at least grade 10, because obviously you need reading and writing comprehension, then you qualify for NQF level 4. Remember, the CETA qualifications is all about lifelong learning. And you learn not only in a classroom, you also learn in your workplace, you learn from life. So that's why training adults is so great with the entry requirement. So if you're older than 23, more than 3 years in an ECD center as a teacher, you qualify. If you at least have a grade 10, you qualify for the NQF level 4.
Right, thank you for that. Then also another question that we had that I would like to answer. If you are an ECD owner, or if you are a principal, but you're not in a class, meaning you're not a teacher, then you do not need the NQF level 4 or 5 or any qualification or whatsoever. You are seen as a business owner, which you are, or if you're a principal, you're doing administrative work and HR work and so forth. So no. Principals or owners, if they're not giving class, they don't need the ECT formal qualification. I hope that answers your question. So if there's any other questions that you would like to put in the chat box, you're welcome. And then also for those coming through with Facebook Live, you're welcome to put that in the comments, and then we will try and answer them within the next few minutes. That being said, Maxie, I see you still want to say something.
Yeah, I see an interesting question here, Arno, and it says, will aftercare centers under DSD also be required to have some form of qualification? Now, if you look at an aftercare center in essence, aftercare is basically providing supervision, if I'm not mistaken. You don't teach, you supervise children doing the homework. So the Children's Act does not specify, remember, we all fall under the Children's Act with regards to aftercare and ECD centers. The Children's Act does not specify any training for aftercare centers. There's no minimum requirement.
Thank you. All right, let's go through some more questions and yeah, let's do that. So a practitioner in a baby section, do they also need a minimum NQF level 4 qualification?
Definitely so. Remember, early childhood development, the emphasis is on development. So you working with a baby has to possess the skill to develop that child. So that's why it's also necessary for you as a teacher in the baby class to have the knowledge, skill, and experience to teach the children that. So a formal qualification is also needed.
All right, thank you. Next question, can support staff or assistants still work with the SA Childcare 101 and 606 short courses as offered by us? Or would they need to upskill? The answer is assistants is not teachers, they're assistants. They do not need the formal qualification, but for sure, as much as possible, short courses, developing skills of your assistants is definitely an advantage for them. Next question, what happens with teachers working in ECD for more than 8 years that passed grade 8?
Precious, kindly send us a message. Let me just see, because that's per provider, individual to individual. So we must first attain what skill the person possesses in terms of reading and comprehension and numeracy. And then we can see, does she qualify for an NQF level 4 or must she rather do a short course? So I think, to me, if you can maybe just put the WhatsApp number there for Precious, so that she can, send us a message.
While we're talking about that, and I think we're going to handle some more questions because this is very important stuff. And please, if you have any question, my teacher always said there's no such thing as a stupid question, because there's shy people and there's not so shy people. And the question that you're going to ask, you're probably going to help a lot of people. So please ask any questions you like on the chat box and we'll handle that. So we talked about Tumi. I would like to then maybe start off and say that we're still going to handle some more questions. But if you are interested, or if you have heard everything you need to hear, and if you say, you know what, that is something that we as an ECD center needs to consider getting our staff on track with a formal qualification, then if you're that person, we're going to put a link on the chat box now, and also a link on the comments of Facebook. Just click on the link. It's just your name and number. We'll give you a ring back if you need any more information with regards to how it works, how to enroll, what to do. If you have any other questions, you're welcome then just to tick there, and we'll contact you. If you don't want to put in your details there, you're also welcome. Then we're going to put 2 WhatsApp numbers. Well, in actual fact, we're going to put 3 numbers there for you. The one number would then be for Tumi, which you see in the chat box on Zoom, and we'll also put it now on the comments. Tumi is our support person for NQF level 4, and then also Boipelu, which is the next WhatsApp, which we would then which we would put up. So if you need any support or if you have any questions with regards to NQF level 5, then Boipelu is the person that you need to contact on WhatsApp. So I'm just going to backtrack again, and I'm going to explain again. So the first thing is, if you like any information with regards to what we have spoken about, the first link, or the link that you can click on, is a Google form. You add your name, number, and we will contact you and let you know what you need to know. Secondly, if you want to contact us, first number is Tumi. That's for NQF level 4. You can click on that number, and that's a WhatsApp number. NQF level 5 is Boipelu. And if you have any questions with regards to that. But if you are at a point where you say, you know what, I've heard what I need to hear, I know my people needs to start off with this formal qualification, and you want to enroll, we're gonna put a different link on there, the last link. You can click on there, and it will assist you to physically enroll on our website for an amount of 200 Rand as an application fee. And what that does is it will also secure your fees for 2023. Obviously, in 2024, we're going to increase the fees, or we need to keep ahead, or to keep track of getting all our expenses covered as well. You will see that our fees is very competitive. But if you have heard what you want to hear and you want to just enroll, you can do that using that link, and then we can take it from there. Then lastly, Maxi, I would like to, I would like to introduce Tumi and Boipelo to you so that we can put a name to a face, because that is always a good thing. So I would just like to introduce them officially, and the first person I would like to introduce then is Boipelo. Boipelo Safiri, she's a very dedicated and passionate about the growth and development of young children. She has been working as an early childhood development assessor for the past 5 years, partnering with preschools and childcare centers to ensure that the children receive the best and possible start in life. Her background, along with her experience, include ECD education. She is here to support you. She's here to support ECD practitioners in creating and nurturing environment that is positive to young children. Boipelo, I would just like you to come up, please, and just say hi to everybody so that they can see your face.
Hi, everyone.
Boipelo, just in a few words, what's in your heart in terms of ECD and training and children? Tell us in just a one-liner. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you please.
It's a beautiful experience, that's what I can say. And seeing all of you and the names that I've been speaking to on the phone as well, it's actually very lovely. But I hope you guys, go through this journey. It's a beautiful one and you will never regret it. So yeah, that's all I can say for now.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Boipelo. I do appreciate you putting you on the spot, and well done.
Yeah.
Right. Our next support staff member is Boitumelo, for short, Tumi. And Tumi, I would just like to introduce her as well. Boitumelo Maseko was an academic coordinator for a period of 6 years at a different institution. Through the drive and passion of working with students, she was led to SA Childcare Association, where she now is an administrator, enrolled as an assessor to further impart knowledge to our future ECD practitioners. So Tumi, I would like to put you on the spot as well, please. Tell us in a few sentences what's going on in your heart. What do you think and feel?
This is a great. Oh, hi everyone. My name is Dewey. This is such a great opportunity to be working with everyone that's going to be imparting knowledge to our younger generation, because it starts with the ECD practitioner to be able to shape a young child and to be able to move them in a direction of being a doctor one day or anything that they aspire to be. So yeah, I'm excited to be in this position.
Wonderful. No, that's great. And then also thank you for that. And thank you for your good, kind words. And I can hear you, probably all of you can hear that ECD lives in our hearts. We love children. We love the sector. We do understand, as I said, the importance of the sector, and we really want to see the sector grow. So, okay, let's go back to the questions again. So those that need to go, you're welcome to go. We're going to handle some more questions and answer those. And I'm sure that would be very helpful. So if you have any other questions, you're welcome to put it in the chat box then. Right, Maxi, you there?
Yes, I see one here from Rihanna. She asks, if I have a qualified teacher for grade 4 to grade 7 in my ECD center, because she did not get a teacher position at another school in our town, will she need to have an ECD qualification? And Rihanna, the answer is yes. Remember, her qualification does not deal with the smaller children. It deals with your grade 4 to grade 7, the intermediate and the foundational. I don't know if she has what's the qualification called, but she does need an ECD qualification.
Okay, great. Next question. If I did a level 4 with SA Childcare, will it be valid and no need to upskill?
Sharnay, yes. If you did your level 4 and you obtained your level 4 successfully, you don't need to upskill. If you want to teach up until grade RR, it will be valid, because remember, it's not an ABA health qualification you're doing. It's an ETDP CETA qualification you're doing. They are going to give you a certificate. Their certificate is valid until you put your head down one day.
Wonderful. All right. Another question. Someone asked if they could have the presentation. Unfortunately, we had issues with the recording, but you are welcome to go to our Facebook page. Because it's a Facebook Live, it automatically gets recorded and saved on our videos section. So you're welcome to go there and have a look at that again if you need some more information. Right. Yes.
Sorry, Arno, I can also let JP put the presentation, my presentation, on the member portal maybe. Then the members can just log in and get it from there, yes.
That's a good plan. Thank you very much for that. So if you're a member of SA Childcare, we'll put it on the members portal and you'll be able to access it there. Right. Another question. Let's see. What is the cutoff date for the qualifications to be attained? I think we did mention that, Maxie. If you could just tell us a bit more about that as well. What's the cutoff date
Okay.
to be attained?
And now, all right, there might be two that she's referring to. The cutoff date to obtain a CETA qualification, according to the South African Qualifications Authority document, is 2027. The cutoff date to attain a qualification in terms of the Department of Education requirement, that has not been communicated to us. That's not clear. But a CETA qualification, you have until 2027. That's your last date of achievement.
Right. And then again, remember the difference between CETA and QCTO. So at this stage, you can do CETA, no external examination, but from next year, June, when you enroll only after next year, June, then there's going to be an external examination that you need to do. Next question. If I would like to study further than NQF level 5, Maxie, where do we start?
Okay, so if you want to study further, then you're going to look at your diplomas and your degrees. That's higher education. So that will be universities. That can be either a UNISA, or also there are some private institutions that also offer the degrees. So you will be looking at a degree, Elsie, that's at higher education institutions.
Right. Will SA Childcare Association offer a diploma in grade R, perhaps, was a question.
No, unfortunately not. Our focus is on the NQF level 4 and 5 at this stage, and also to help the guys in the sector that can't even meet that entry requirement. So as soon as those qualifications are available to accredit for, we will also be gunning for them for the level 2 and 3 and 1, those as well, but level 6 at this stage, no.
Right. And then there was another question which I will answer. If no staff member has a qualification, must we close our ECD center? At this stage, no, you don't have to close. There's nothing, no directive given from the Department of Basic Education yet to say that if you don't have a formal qualification, you're not allowed to teach. So that has not been done. What we're saying is, as SA Childcare, because we are there in the meetings, we hear what they're saying. Our minds are that we're applying our minds and saying, look, this is where it's probably going to. So what we want to do for our members is say, look, be proactive rather than reactive and being stressed out. So if you know something is going to come, if it comes or not, if the directive comes or not, your staff and your school will be in a better place if your staff members or teachers has a formal qualification, because your children will do better. So it's a win-win situation. And what we're saying is it might go there that we're getting a directive to say, look, within the next few years, you need a formal qualification. It might not be, but why not do it? Because it's going to be to your benefit. It's going to be to your center's benefit. It's going to be to your staff's benefit. So yes, no, you don't have to close your school, but we don't know what the future holds, and rather be safe than sorry. That's what we're saying. If NQF level 5 is no longer being offered, what does that mean for me, which has an NQF level 5? Is it skills? Is upskills needed to keep the older children, or will the NQF level 5 still suffice, even if it's not provided anymore?
Okay, so if you obtained your NQF 5 already, well done. Firstly, that's what I want to say. So that depends on what grades you want to teach. If you just want to teach a grade R in a nursery school, in an ECD center, then your NQF level 5 is 100%. If you want to teach grade 1, 2, and 3, then you're going to need a B.Ed foundational phase as a teacher. Because remember, what they are trying to do is teaching qualifications are going to move to universities. ECD qualifications like your practitioners, which most of you guys are, you are ECD practitioners, that's moving to the QCTO, or the ends to the TVET colleges. So that's important to keep in mind. Your NQF 5 valid for grade R in a nursery school.
Another question, or there's a comment here. Thank you. My staff are currently studying NQF level 4 and are enjoying it. Tumi is very helpful and answers all my questions and queries. Thank you very much for that, Lindiwe. Even from my side, as the person needing to look after our staff and making sure that we give proper customer service, we have gotten a lot of great positive comments about the way we go about. So that always is a good thing. It shows we're in the direction that we need to take, and that we need to go to make sure that you guys, which are our clients, get the best experience with us. So thank you very much for that. Next question, Shantay, does universities then take the NQF level 5 as previous studies?
Yeah, that's a tricky one because that differs from university to university. Some will require a NQF 5 or a matric with university exemption. Others will put you in a bridging course, to meet the requirements. So that's really university dependent and their program dependent. So it's the entry requirement for their program. I really can't comment on that because it's not all the same.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Tamara, I would just like to mention that we have someone looking after the Facebook comments or questions, and we're trying to answer all of them as well. But if you maybe see one or two there and you want to add it to the Zoom chat, you're welcome as well. Right. Then we have a final question, or let's go. We're going towards the end of today's meeting then. So if you want to sneak in a few questions, you're welcome. The final one that we have here is, what are the ages for grade RR and grade R?
Yeah. Okay. What are the ages? You guys work with them every day. I now feel like a complete.
All right.
Because I know it's 4 turning 5, 5 turning 6. So yeah. No, please help me. I don't work with children. I work with students.
So we can maybe mention COVID as a problem in terms of our thoughts. But no, normally you look, grade 1 is normally 6 turning 7. So grade R would be 5 turning 6, and then double R would be 4 turning 5. All right.
Thank you, Lindiwe, for helping me out here. Great. Thank you so much. So grade double R is 4 turning 5, and grade R is 5 turning 6.
Look, we know almost everything, but not everything. And then it's so much information coming in our heads that if you get a and then suddenly it's out, but
in and out, blame COVID or age.
It happens. Right. Does the grade R work in an ECD center? Must it be registered with DBE? How does the grade R work in an ECD center? Must it be registered with DBE?
Yes. So if you have a grade R class in your ECD center, you need to register the grade R class as an independent grade R site because it's part of your ECD center, and that needs a different registration. So Elsie, that's correct. A grade R in class in your ECD center is registered as an independent grade R site.
Okay, then we again, as I say, I sound like a preacher which says that, all right, we're going to finish, and then we carry on, we're going to finish, carry on. But there's so much questions, and I would really like to give an opportunity, for us to answer them so that we can help you. So bear with me. I'm really going to try and end it off now, but I got like 4 or 5 more questions. So we're going to go through them quickly. Some of them we have answered, but maybe the persons were not available or were not in the chat yet. Right, so for kids under 1, does the caregiver have to obtain a level 4 NQF? And we said yes. If you work in an ECD environment, irrespective of the age of your children, you do need or would need possibly in the future a formal qualification. That is a fact. Can we do BEd after NQF level 5? As Maxi mentioned, that depends on the entry requirements of the different universities. So we can't give you a correct information there. So we'd rather say, find out from the universities. Next one. How do we know if an institution, if an institution's qualification will be recognized for CETA? Maxi, so in other words, how will you know if, let's say, for example, you're studying with ABC, how would we know that they're really registered with CETA or accredited with CETA? Well, the one thing is study with us because we are accredited with CETA. But if you want to know, Maxi is going to tell you how to check.
You phone ABA Health. No. All jokes aside. Okay, so an institution, if they are registered with the CETA, they will have an accreditation number. So wherever you want to study a CETA qualification, that's offered by a CETA accredited training institution, and they would have a registration number. So always check that. That's a very, very important point, because there are a lot of fly-by-night colleges out there who just take students' money and they are not accredited. They don't have the quality measures in place to deliver the program, because at the end of the day, these institutions, all of us, we implement a CETA qualification. It's not our qualifications. It's a CETA qualification that we implement and they certify. So it's very important to make sure that a training provider is accredited with the relevant CETA.
One other thing that I would like to mention is the fact that we sometimes saw that there is institutions that's actually accredited with CETA, but because of the internal processes and the way they compile and the students, all that internal things, sometimes they don't even get necessarily, the students don't even get necessarily a CETA certificate. The reason being, Maxi, tell us a bit more about the process, how it works, what happens when a student completed the file, if you like. What happens with CETA? What do they do?
Okay, so there can be numerous reasons why a student do not get a certificate. Okay, so when all the files are done and you are done with your theory work and your practical work and your hours has been signed off, internal moderation happens. So that will also depend on the amount of moderators a provider has, because 25% of the students must be checked by a moderator. Then the next step is the students are uploaded to the CETA, and then the CETA comes out to check if the provider did their job in terms of the training process. If the CETA is happy, they endorse the outcome of the qualification, and then normally within a couple of days or a week or so, they can get a ETDP CETA statement of results. So it's a statement of results showing all the unit standards you did with the ETDP CETA logo on. Now, I know from experience currently, CETA did revamp their whole system where you upload the learners and so on. And we are also waiting still for some certificates, although the students' results from the CETA has already been endorsed with the logo key, everything, but that can also be. But at least a provider, after verification, must provide you with the ETDP CETA statement of results. That's just as good as the certificate. So if a provider's processes aren't right, or they didn't upload yet, or for one or another reason is stuck somewhere in the training process, they will not be able to issue you with the ETDP CETA statement of result and ultimately a CETA certificate. Because remember, a provider can't just print a certificate to say, Yanni has passed this CETA qualification. No, it goes through a process and the CETA prints at the end. I hope that answers your question, Arno.
Yes, that answers my question. And someone asked if we could assist with the registration of the grade R. Definitely, for sure. That's something that we do. So if you need any assistance with that, it is obviously a payable product because there's a lot of workforce and HR people working on a specific file. So we do have something like a registration toolkit that's available to members that you can utilize as well. So you are welcome to contact Maxi at sachildcare.net if you would like more information with any assistance in terms of registration. And then Rihanna, thank you very much for your comment. That we really do appreciate your comments. That makes us tick to know that we're making a difference and to know that we really do assist our members and the ECD sector as a whole. At the end of the day, we're not funded by anybody. So we want to thank all our contributing members. Without you, we can't do what we do. So you're giving towards a good cause and you're giving towards something. And I would like to say thank you. Thank you for all the contributing members. And if you're not a contributing member yet, maybe think about that. Think about empowering us to champion the ECD sector. And that's all from me. Is there any last words, Maxi, maybe from your side or Boipelu or Tumi? And then you're welcome.
Yes, Arno, if I can share the slide on the mental wellness. As
Oh,
it's Mental
yes.
Wellness Month in October, we've got exciting news. We're actually part of a pilot project that Arno is going to talk to you about a bit about more. Arno, would you like me to share that slide?
Yes, please share that slide. I've totally forgot about that. So next month is Mental Health Month. We didn't know that. So we have partnered with a company called The Talking Point. This is a platform where you can send a WhatsApp. There's the WhatsApp number. Unfortunately, you would need a link, a SA Childcare link, before it can, it will work for you. But this is only purely for members, because we had to pay for this pilot project as well. And if we go forward, it's going to be an expense for us as an organization. But we want to supply this to our members up to the end of November. So I have sent the link to all our members on WhatsApp. So please make use of this. Just, you know what, just like the way that we're looking after our physical health, or we should, I should gym more as well, but I probably don't. And just like we trying to eat better or more healthier, we need to look after our cognitive, after our brain and the way we think and our emotions and so forth. So yes, this platform is wonderful. It's confidential. We don't know anything. It's an external place. They have signed agreements that they specialists in their area. So I would like to say, if you're a contributing member of SA Childcare, please use this. It's free of charge for you, and it really helps. Any questions that you might have in terms of the way you feel, or maybe even how to talk to a parent, this happened, or with a child, this happened. Even that type of questions you're welcome to ask you. Or if you feel a bit, depressed, or you don't feel well emotionally, chat to them. They're going to help you. And that's a service that we want to supply to you as our contributing members, as a way of saying thank you for being part of us and for being part of our family, and we to you and you to us. So we make each other stronger. Stronger together is in fact what we believe, and you know that from our logo. So we are truly stronger together. Boipelo, Tumi, any last comments from your side?
Well, I can't wait to have you guys. Please do join our association and our organization to making South Africa a better place.
Well done. Maxi, anything from you?
For me, and I actually want to touch both. I want to touch the guys that's already enrolled in some of our qualifications. I want to tell you guys, hou aan, byt vas, finish the qualification.
Hold on,
Hey?
hold on.
Hold on, hang on.
Hang on.
Hou on, just hou on and on and on and on and on. This is the joy of skills training. You do it until you get it right. Get that paper in your hand. You're going to be so proud of yourselves, and I'm going to be proud of you also. And I want to say to the guys who's pondering, should I, shouldn't I? You know what? Take the leap. Take the leap. And I know it's daunting, to study while you're working, and to study a whole bunch of years after you've been in the school. And I know that's a big endeavor, but you know what? You guys can do it. You work with these things every day. So really consider, upskilling yourself, because that's going to be beneficial to yourself and to the kiddies. And you guys are already doing such an amazing job with the children, just to do it better and better and better, just like us. We must do our stuff better and better and better to serve you guys, to serve the children, for the benefit of all of us at the end of the day. So that's my 5 cents. That's what I want to say. And I want to say thank you for the hard work that you guys are doing. Thank you. So thank you so very much for making sure that we will be okay when we are old one day.
That's true. Boipelo.
I just want to add on to what Maxi is saying. If there's anything else that we can assist with, please do reach out. We are here to assist you. It doesn't matter. Like Arno said, there's no such thing as a stupid question. So please do reach out to us. Everyone else in the office will be able to assist you with any question, and if we are unsure, we'll do more research on the questions that you guys have for us. But we actually can't wait to actually introduce you guys to the course, and that you meet the rest of our team. Thank you so much for always being there, and also making sure that we are also okay. And when you call in, it makes our day. Really, thank you so much.
Wonderful. Right. So lastly, from my side, it has been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to being able to impart some information to you that was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, our doors are open. Our lines are open, our WhatsApps are open, our emails are open, and sometimes it might take a bit longer than expected because we do get a lot of queries, but we will get to you. And if we do make a mistake sometimes, because we're also not perfect, sorry for that. But hopefully there's less of that and more good service, which we pride ourselves in. So again, from my side, thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon. And go and think about what we said. And if you can't remember what was said, go to Facebook Live, look at the video, and make a choice and make a proactive choice. All right. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right.